Atlas and the Falcor are two of the best bindings Union offers, both of which have gotten upgrades in the last year. For most riders, choosing between bindings can be a tough decision. So today I'm going to be riding both of these back to back to show you the differences of each and to help you find which one will be best for you. It might be cold, windy, and low visibility, but it's off to Snowmass to test these bindings.
All right, we're throwing these on the Captain Mercury in a 157. We're starting with the Atlas. Let's get it.
Now, cruising around in an all-mountain setting, the Atlas feels great. In fact, it's been my go-to binding for the last couple of years. On the base of the binding, you'll find Union's standard universal disc to give a stiffer feel underfoot. This is framed around a Vaporlight HD bushing to help vibration disruption you may feel in harder snow or on bigger landings. I really like the feel of the ankle strap on this binding, which has been upgraded to an Exoframe 5.0 strap. I'm someone who cranks my straps, and even so, these ankle straps distribute the pressure evenly across my boot while giving a responsive ride. The high back is another update for this binding, which has been milled to create somewhat of an asymmetrical flex, allowing for a slightly softer feel when rotating inward. With these few updates, I feel like this binding has now become a better choice for park riding for a larger variety of riders. The Atlas does have a stiffer than medium flex, but with the changes in the high back for this season, I feel like it is now more maneuverable in the park than ever. I've always preferred riding stiffer gear in the park, which is why I love the Atlas. It can hold up at speed when hitting bigger jumps, but it isn't too stiff for rails. But I really wanted to see how the Falcor felt riding in the same terrain.
Just let a man breathe and just hush so my mind can just see so my mind don't erupt. At times I feel I can't get enough, but I sip a double cup and I spill a couple bucks. Sending out some love to my blood, to my girl, to my buds, to the homie up above. And no more time for big enough to these fakes who ain't around when the time's getting rough. 6 million ways to die, so I spit into this truth when I break the lies. Everybody wanna talk, but all I hear is lies. Everybody been fake, all I see in their eyes. 6 million ways to die, so I spit into this truth when I break the lies. Everybody wanna talk, but all I hear is lies. Everybody been fake, all I see.
Ripping the Resort felt amazing on the Falcor. This is of course Travis Rice's Pro Model binding, which he helped to take to the next level with this season's redesign. The biggest change we see in this binding is the 2-layer construction base plate, which consists of a flexible halo base frame and a stiff MD core. This is combined with an asymmetrical molecular bushing to add a suspension feeling feature to the binding. This bushing also adds inward canting to the binding, which means the base is angled inward for more comfort on your knees. Basically what this created in the feel of the ride is a binding that is super comfortable underfoot while still being very quick edge to edge. It's a different feeling than I've almost ever felt in the binding, which made for a unique ride. This is still considered a freestyle binding for Union, and it felt great in the park. a wild ride that combines response where you need it, in addition to a nice comfy flex where you also need it. Part of this comes from the high back, which is an asymmetrical forged carbon build to give the hard charging response that riders like Travis Rice need. But instead of being an overbuilt, overly stiff binding, you have the perfect amount of support for any intermediate and advanced level rider. The new minimal hybrid 1.0 ankle strap was so comfortable, and I found it felt much better and worked best for the overall ride if I didn't crank the strap tight. It grabs the boot great and allows you to move better if it's tightened down only till it's snug. I had a great skate and surfy feel on rails because of the overall build of this binding, which makes it a great choice for riders who are going everywhere, including the park. The best way that I can explain the Falcor is that it is an incredible combination of edge-to-edge response and a comfortable flex side to side where you want it. If you're interested in purchasing the Atlas and the Falcor, you can find them both at radioboardshop.com to help us support local snowboarding. Getting back into it with the side-by-side breakdown, we'll see the Atlas rings in at $369.99 compared to the Falcor at $399.99. In the Falcor, you'll get the latest and greatest tech from Union, such as the 2-part base plate. This is compared to the tried and true build of the Atlas, which gives a reliable and traditional ride. Where I felt the most difference between these bindings was in the base underfoot. Part of this has to do with the standard disc on the Atlas compared to the Falcor's mini disc. The mini disc gives a surfier ride underfoot, where the standard disc gives a ride that felt more sturdy. It also felt different with my ollies between the two. On the Atlas, it felt like I had a snappier ollie because there was less lateral movement underfoot, which gave a strong point to help snap that tail. The slight play the Falcor's mini disc gave me underfoot made my ollies feel a little lagged. The best analogy I can give between these two bindings is that the Falcors felt like if you were skating with looser trucks compared to slightly tighter trucks on the Atlas. These are two amazing bindings, but for me personally, I enjoyed the feel of the Atlas more. It's more what I'm used to from bindings in the past, and it just feels like a sturdy, reliable ride. Not to say that the Falcor is unreliable, it just feels different with a looser feel underfoot in a skatey, surfy kind of way. But it is a trip because it is very responsive edge to edge. So while either of these bindings will be great for any intermediate to advanced level rider, I would put the Falcor with the person who might want to be a little more jibby and likes a little more movement underfoot, while suggesting the Atlas to the rider who knows they want a slightly stiffer feel underfoot to give for a sturdier feeling ride that charges in any type of terrain. Additionally, the Falcors might feel a little better for the person who's also in powder, as it gives for that more fluid movement between turns. If you're looking for another awesome binding from Union that's slightly different from the Falcor and the Atlas, you gotta look into the Force. I did a video comparing the classic Force with last season's updated Force, which you can watch right here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, we'll see you somewhere on the mountain. Peace.